It should be recording now, theoretically.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, do you guys want to do introductions since we have new people?
I would like to introduce new team members from Louisiana.
Okay. I guess we can just go around, say our names, what state we're from, and our grades. Or for you adults, you can just make something up.
What are the kids saying? Introducing themselves, their state, and what?
Grade.
Oh, your grade. Gotcha.
Yeah. So I can go first. I think I'm the only one here from Tennessee. I'm Christiana, like I said before, from Tennessee, and I am a sophomore in high school.
I'm a Han, a junior in high school from North Carolina.
I'm Morgan. I'm from North Carolina, and depending on the way that our state views it, I'm either a senior or a junior if the rest of the year gets canceled.
I'm Jane from Louisiana, and I'm junior.
Hi, I'm Catherine from Louisiana. I'm a freshman.
Susanna. Oh, well, she's not on yet. Susanna Shields is a freshman from Louisiana. She's trying to log on.
I'm Jeffrey. I'm from New York, and I'm a sophomore.
I'm Viv from Louisiana. I'm a sophomore in college.
Susanna?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, you can introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Susanna Shields.
What grade are you in?
I'm in 9th grade.
Welcome.
Thank you.
We have Mr. Ben left.
Yep. Hey, guys. I'm Ben Merritt, and I'm a senior in high school at Tennessee.
Did Ahan go?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Do the adults want to introduce themselves, or?
We're afraid.
I'm Kelly Adams. I'm from New York, and I've worked for 4-H for a long time, and someday maybe I'll finish my master's degree. I just have to do my final project.
Go Kelly.
Woohoo!
I'm Fran Harvey from Louisiana. Been involved with 4-H for probably about 5 years, and I'm a GIS professional for 25 years.
And I'm Charles Malone from New York, and I work with 4-H STEM science programs in New York. And I guess if I was going to say what grade I'm in, I'd be like Tim, who's going to introduce himself a little bit later. I'm trying to get into retirement. So does that count?
Yes.
It does. And this is Esther. I'm from Colorado. I'm one of those lifelong 4-Hers. And both Charles and I are going to be learning from Tim. and on April 1st, our governor, who I love, announced that all K-12 students would have to repeat the same grade next year when they return to school.
Oh, wow.
Hopefully that was an April Fool's joke.
You caught that, Raymond. Very good.
I was going to say, why do you love him?
Say, good thing I'm in Tennessee.
That's a great sense of humor, though. I bet those kids were like, what? Statewide April Fool's joke. I love it.
I wondered what April Fool's joke you could conjure up with this this virus issue.
Oh yeah, well I told Andrew, my youngest son, that because he doesn't follow the news at all, so I can tell him anything, and he couldn't believe it. But I basically told him, there was a curfew. It was complete locked down. He can't go anywhere until, I think I said like the end of August or something. So he bought it, hook, line, and sinker.
How old is he?
He's 18.
We met
He only
him,
bought
right?
it for a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've met Andrew.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
He's a great kid.
Thanks.
Young
Well,
man.
I'm Thomas. For those, I don't know if all the adults have gone already, but I'm Thomas, and I'm here in North Carolina.
I haven't gone. I'm Peggy, and I'm from Nevada.
I'm Celeste Carmichael. I'm Jeffrey's mom, but I also work for Cooperative Extension Administration and been involved in 4-H for a very long time, but I just like to listen in and see what's going on.
Good Brown was a chameleon.
Anybody else?
Tom Tate in Maryland, volunteer for many years, 4-H GIS program. Good to be with you all.
Mr. Doyle.
A little technical difficulty, so we'll be right back.
Okay.
I'm here. I'm Doyle, and I'm here.
And I think Catherine just jumped on too.
No, I just turned on my video.
Oh, okay.
You have it right there.
But I don't have the screen to look at.
And has everybody gone now?
Alt tab.
You need to mute yourself.
I'll
Tab.
take that. Yes.
I need to mute myself?
What do you mean?
We can move on to map of the month now, I guess, which is this ocean life tracker, which is pretty cool. You can click, for example, on this shark, and it'll show you everywhere that he's been, where they first put the little microchip in him, and where he's traveled since then. And then over here on the side, you can see about how old he is, how much he weighs, how long he was when they first caught him. So it's pretty cool, and you can do that with alligators, turtles, whales, different kinds of sharks, seals. And for someone like me who lives in Tennessee, we don't have ocean life, so I'm very interested in this kind of thing.
That is really cool.
Who does the analysis? What's it? The name of the organization is
I think it's like Ocean Search, something like that.
Search. Okay.
The font is kind of odd.
I think it's orange. It's like in the website, on the website.
Yeah, I believe you're right.
I think it's supposed to be O search.
Yeah, I can see. RIP.
I can go back if you guys still want to look at it.
Very cool.
Do the turtles again for a minute, please.
Yeah. This is one of the turtles down by Florida. It takes it a second to load, but they first caught her up here, and then the latest time that she's been pinged was down here. But she's traveled all over, and even inland some. And I just think it's really cool to see over time where they travel each year.
Wow. Can you put the link to that in our chat box, or have you already?
I can, yeah. I'm not very good with this.
Esther and I adopted turtles in Jekyll Island, Georgia, 10 years ago, wasn't it, Esther?
I think it was like 2000, about 2008, maybe.
Oh, it may have been, yes.
Yeah, which is
12 years.
yeah, a little more than.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Okay, moving right along from that is state updates. So if Nevada doesn't mind, I'll start off with them.
Hi. I'm still muted. No, can you hear me?
You're not muted.
Well, we don't have much of an update because of the whole shutdown. You know, like everybody else, our schools got closed and everybody got told to shelter in place. We did try to do a virtual caching exercise where we went around to places in our area that didn't have to get touched and took the GPS coordinates. And so, but there was something very obvious there, so they could, you know, take a picture of themselves in front of it and send it to us to tell us what it was. But then the governor issued a more stringent stand place, and that kind of faded away. So like all of us, we're just waiting to see what happens. I hope everybody's staying healthy and home.
All right, North Carolina.
So I would kind of ditto. What do you guys think? Do we have any updates? I can't remember what we worked on way back in March. You guys are each working on individual maps. Do you mind sharing what maps you're working on? Ahan and Morgan and Amin. Does anybody hear me?
Oh, what? Sorry, my thing lagged. What'd you say?
Oh, that's okay. I was just asking if you would share what map you're working on.
Oh, okay. How do I screen share?
Should just be at the bottom, but you might not be able to since Christiana, but you can just tell about it.
Oh, well, so I'd originally planned on doing my map on like nutrition and then like mental health, but I decided to change it to nutrition and drug abuse, and I wanted to do it specifically on tobacco use. So I wanted to see the correlation between areas that like would be called food deserts and see the rates of tobacco use in those areas and then compare it to areas where nutrition was higher. That's pretty much the sum of what my map is.
Yeah, that's so interesting.
Thanks.
Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. So my map initially started out as an index for vulnerability to severe weather, like natural disasters, like hurricanes and whatnot.
Who's speaking, please?
Morgan. And I've kind of taken it in that just trying to figure out where to get my data and stuff like that. So I've kind of gone down that rabbit hole.
What have you found so far?
Well, I found areas. I found that low-lying areas are significantly more affected, but I've kind of basically found the obvious. But I'm trying to compile that now into an index that can be visualized on a map.
Amin, you want to share what you're working on? His mic's having some issues. If you want to type it, I can say it for you, or everybody can read. I don't know.
Yeah, we can read. It doesn't matter.
While he's typing, I was just going to mention that the Zoom is saying that there's 5 minutes left. So I don't know if when it ends, do we jump back into this link?
I may have to send out another one.
Okay.
Or does somebody have Zoom Pro?
Yeah, I do.
I think we need you to make one real quick.
He's making an index about county vulnerability based on hospitals and EMS access in North Carolina. We're into indices over here.
I like that. I mean, we had worked on something very similar to that this past year, and from that, our ambulance committee, which my dad's on now, was able to take some of that data we used and help decide like how many trucks they need to purchase and where to station everybody in the county. So, I mean, that could be a really useful project.
Do we want to jump
I'm
on
working on
another
it.
link and then
I'm
continue?
working on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, give me a second.
Come on, man. We're on a tight schedule.
I would like to, before we start on the next state.
I mean, on your EMS and hospital access, are there implications there for the current coronavirus epidemic, where there's a shortage of bed spaces and EMS services in your communities? Can you see a potential being applied, a value in North Carolina?
He says he definitely thinks so.
And Mr. Tate, it's interesting you mentioned the bed spaces and everything. Me and Vib had a call last night to go over some of the stuff for the Film Fest coming up June 1st.
Yes,
and part of what he had mentioned to me was there's a ton of maps that Esri's kind of produced, or Esri users have, and they put it on like a page. And one of them was the hospital bed availability and that kind of thing, and how many beds can you add to each hospital, what the maximum capacity is, and what's already been used. So that's something that's very interesting, especially in these times.
I mean,
So I am posting a legitimate link. By the way, everybody should be careful about links posted into Zoom meetings. But that is, that's our regular Zoom meeting link. So you guys can jump over there and we'll see you there in just a second.